West Australian Premier has said that the Artania will need to remain off the Perth coastline, but if any of those 7 people who have tested positive to COVID-19 need urgent life-saving medical assistance, that will be provided. Now, the ship requested to dock here in Fremantle yesterday after 25 people on board reported having respiratory problems. WA health officials were then sent out to the vessel for testing, and it has since this morning been confirmed that 7 people on board have contracted coronavirus. Now, the ship does need to refuel. The West Australian Premier is calling for Commonwealth assistance on this matter to try and refuel the vessel while it is out at sea. It is the 2nd cruise ship which has requested to dock in Fremantle. The MSC Magnifica, which refueled here on Tuesday before heading out to Dubai, has been refused entry into the Dubai port by the government there, so it has since asked to come back to Fremantle Port. The West Australian Premier, of course, has refused that ship entry. It's since been doing circles off the WA coastline, but the WA Premier is adamant that neither of those cruise ships will make dock.
Those 2 ships need to go home. They need to leave and go home. We have seen what has happened in Sydney Harbour. It was a complete and utter disaster. I will not allow that to happen in Western Australia.
Emily, a 3rd ship is due to dock tomorrow, but only Australians will be allowed to disembark, so presumably they'll be into isolation as well, will they?
That's right, Tom. Those 800 Australians on board the Vasco da Gama will be allowed to disembark when it makes port here in Fremantle tomorrow morning, but they will be going straight onto ferries and taken straight to Rottnest Island, where they will be put into quarantine for 14 days. Now, all other passengers and crew will need to remain on board until flights or other travel arrangements have been made for the foreign nationals on board to take them directly back to their home countries. As for Rottnest Island, boat owners are being told that they need to remove any vessels that they have moored out there by midday today, as the island prepares to become an isolation zone. They will be preparing for those 800 Australians who will be disembarking when the Vasco da Gama arrives here in Fremantle tomorrow morning. Tom?